Marcus Thornton stood by the large window of his mansion and looked out at the green gardens. He was 45 years old. He had more money than he could ever spend. But on this quiet Saturday morning, he felt alone. The big house was too quiet. The rooms were too empty. He had everything money could buy, but he did not have a family. Marcus had built his business from nothing. He grew up in foster care. He never knew his real parents. He moved from home to home as a child. Some of those homes were good. Some were very bad. He learned early that he could only trust himself. He worked hard in school. He worked harder after school. By the time he was 30, he owned his first company. By 40, he was a billionaire. But money did not erase the memories. Money did not fill the empty spaces in his heart. He turned away from the window when he heard the front door open. It was Elena Vasquez, his housekeeper. She had worked for him for 3 years now. She was a small woman with dark hair and tired eyes. She was always on time. She never complained. She did her work quietly and perfectly. But today, something was different. Elena was not alone. A little girl walked behind her. The girl was maybe 7 years old. She had the same dark hair as her mother. She wore a long-sleeved shirt, even though it was the middle of summer. Her eyes were fixed on the floor. She did not look up. She did not smile. She did not speak. Elena looked nervous. She held her cleaning supplies tightly in her hands. "Mr. Thornton, I am so sorry," she said quickly. "My babysitter canceled at the last minute. I had no one to watch Lily. I could not miss work. I promise she will not be any trouble. She will sit quietly. You will not even know she is here." Marcus looked at the little girl. She still had not looked up. She stood perfectly still, like a small statue. "It is fine, Elena," Marcus said. "Do not worry about it." Elena let out a breath of relief. "Thank you, Mr. Thornton. Thank you so much." She took Lily to the kitchen and set her up at a small table in the corner. She gave her some paper and crayons. Then Elena started her work, cleaning the large house room by room. Marcus went to his study to work. He had emails to answer and papers to sign, but he could not focus. His mind kept going back to the little girl in the kitchen. There was something about her that bothered him, something that did not feel right. After an hour, he got up and walked to the kitchen. He told himself he was just getting coffee. But really, he wanted to see the girl again. Lily was exactly where her mother had left her. She sat at the small table with her hands in her lap. The paper was still blank. The crayons were still in the box. She had not touched them. She just sat there, staring at nothing. Marcus poured himself a cup of coffee. He moved slowly, watching the girl from the corner of his eye. "Hello," he said gently. "Your name is Lily, right?" The girl did not answer. She did not even look at him. It was like she had not heard him at all. Marcus tried again. "Do you like to draw? I see you have some crayons there." Nothing. The girl was like a ghost. She was there, but she was not really there. Marcus felt a strange pain in his chest. He remembered being a child. He remembered sitting in corners, trying to be invisible. He remembered learning that if he was quiet enough, maybe no one would notice him. Maybe no one would hurt him. He did not push the girl to talk. He just nodded and walked away with his coffee. Over the next few weeks, Lily came to the house more and more often. Elena apologized every time, but Marcus always told her it was fine. He meant it. He did not mind having the child there, but he was worried about her. Lily never played. She never laughed. She never made a sound. She just sat in her corner of the kitchen like a little shadow. Sometimes Marcus would walk by and see her sitting with her arms wrapped around herself. Sometimes she would rock back and forth very slowly, like she was trying to comfort herself. The other thing Marcus noticed was her clothes. Even on the hottest days, Lily wore long sleeves. She wore long pants. She kept herself covered from head to toe. One day, Marcus asked Elena about it. "Is Lily feeling okay?" he asked. "I notice she always wears long sleeves." "Is she cold?" Elena's face went pale for just a second. Then she smiled, but the smile did not reach her eyes. "She just likes those clothes," Elena said. "She is a shy girl. She does not like to show her skin." Marcus did not believe her, but he did not push. He could see that Elena was scared of something. He just did not know what. The days passed. Marcus found himself thinking about Lily more and more. He started leaving small things for her. A new coloring book, a stuffed animal, some cookies on a plate. He never gave them to her directly. He just left them where she would find them. At first, Lily did not touch any of it. But slowly, very slowly, she started to take the small gifts. Marcus would come back and find the cookies gone. He would see her holding the stuffed animal close to her chest. It was not much, but it was something. One afternoon, Marcus was walking through the kitchen when he saw Lily reaching for a glass of water. Her arm stretched up, and her sleeve fell back just a little bit. Marcus stopped. His heart stopped. There were bruises on her arm. Dark purple bruises mixed with yellow and green ones. They wrapped around her thin wrist like a terrible bracelet. The marks were not from a fall. They were not from playing too rough. Marcus knew what those marks were. He had seen marks like that before. He had marks like that when he was a child. Lily saw him looking. Her eyes went wide with fear, pure terror. She yanked her sleeve down so fast that she knocked the glass off the counter. It fell to the floor and shattered into 100 pieces. The girl froze. She started to shake. Tears filled her eyes, but she did not let them fall. She looked at Marcus like she was waiting for something bad to happen, like she was waiting to be hit. "It is okay," Marcus said softly. He did not move. He did not want to scare her more. "It is just a glass. It does not matter." Lily did not say anything. She just stood there, shaking, her arms wrapped tight around herself. Elena came running in when she heard the crash. She saw the broken glass and her daughter standing in the middle of it. "Lily." "I am so sorry, Mr. Thornton," Elena said. She grabbed her daughter and pulled her away from the glass. "I will clean this up right away." "I am so sorry." "Elena, it is fine," Marcus said. "Please. It is just a glass." But Elena was not listening. She was already on her knees, picking up the pieces. Her hands were shaking too. Marcus looked at Lily. Lily looked at him. In that moment, something passed between them. A silent understanding. A shared secret. Someone was hurting this child, and her mother was too scared to stop it. That night, Marcus sat alone in his study. The house was dark and quiet. He could not stop thinking about those bruises. He could not stop seeing the fear in Lily's eyes. He had spent his whole life building a fortune. He had power. He had influence. He had resources that most people could only dream of. But what good was any of it if he could not help one little girl? Marcus made a decision that night. He did not know how yet. He did not know what he would do. But he knew one thing for certain. He was going to find out what was happening to Lily, and he was going to stop it, no matter what it took. After that day in the kitchen, Marcus could not get Lily out of his mind. He saw her face when he closed his eyes at night. He saw those bruises in his dreams. The fear in her eyes haunted him like a ghost that would not leave. He started watching more carefully. Every time Elena brought Lily to the house, Marcus paid attention. He noticed things he had missed before. Small things. Terrible things. Lily always wore long sleeves and long pants. But sometimes, when she moved a certain way, Marcus could see more bruises. On her legs. On her neck. Once, he saw a mark on her back when her shirt lifted just a little bit. The bruises were always in different stages of healing. Some were fresh and dark purple. Some were older and turning yellow. This meant someone was hurting her again and again. It was not a one-time thing. It was happening over and over. Marcus felt sick to his stomach. But he did not say anything. Not yet. He knew he had to be careful. If he said the wrong thing to the wrong person, it could make everything worse for Lily. He had learned that lesson the hard way. When he was a child, he remembered telling a teacher once about the bad things happening in his foster home. The teacher had called the foster parents. That night, the punishment had been worse than anything before. Marcus had learned to stay quiet after that. He had learned that sometimes the people who were supposed to help could not help at all. So Marcus watched. And he waited. And he tried to understand what was really going on. Elena was different now too. Or maybe she had always been this way, and Marcus had just not noticed. She jumped at small sounds. She checked her phone constantly, and every time it rang, her face went white with fear. She never talked about her home life. She never talked about her husband. Marcus knew that Elena was married. She wore a wedding ring, but she never mentioned her husband's name. She never said anything about him at all. It was like he did not exist. One afternoon, Marcus was in his office when he heard Elena talking on the phone. She did not know he was listening. Her voice was low and scared. "I will be home on time," she said. "I promise. Please do not be angry. I am doing my best." There was a pause. Marcus could not hear what the other person was saying, but he saw Elena's face through the crack in the door. She looked terrified. "I know," she whispered. "I know. I am sorry. It will not happen again." She hung up the phone and stood there for a moment. Her hands were shaking. She wiped her eyes quickly and went back to work like nothing had happened. Marcus felt his heart break a little more. He started to put the pieces together. Someone was hurting Lily. Elena was scared of someone. They lived together. It had to be connected. The person hurting Lily was probably the same person Elena was so afraid of. Her husband. Marcus wanted to ask Elena directly. He wanted to sit her down and tell her that he could help, that he had money and power and could protect her and Lily. But he knew it was not that simple. People who hurt their families were very dangerous. They were controlling. They watched everything. If Elena suddenly started acting different, if she suddenly seemed like she had hope, her husband might notice. And then things could get very bad very fast. Marcus had seen it happen before. When he was in foster care, there was a woman down the street who tried to leave her husband. Everyone knew he was hitting her. Everyone knew it was bad. One day, she packed her bags and tried to go to her sister's house. Her husband found out. He found her before she got there. She never came back to the neighborhood. Marcus never found out what happened to her. But he could guess. So Marcus was careful. He did not ask Elena any direct questions. He did not make her feel like he knew her secret. Instead, he tried to help in small ways. He started paying Elena more. He gave her bigger tips. He always paid in cash so there would be no record. He told her it was because she was doing such good work. Elena tried to refuse at first, but Marcus insisted. "You deserve it," he told her. "You work harder than anyone I know." Elena's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Mr. Thornton," she whispered. "You do not know how much this helps." Marcus thought he did know. He thought she was saving that money, hiding it somewhere, building up enough to run away someday. He also started making sure Lily had food. He noticed that the girl was very thin, too thin for a child her age. So he always had snacks ready when she came. Fruit, sandwiches, cookies. He left them on the kitchen table and pretended not to notice when they disappeared. Lily was still quiet. She still did not talk, but Marcus could see small changes in her. She did not shake as much when he walked into the room. She did not flinch every time he moved his hand. She was starting to trust him, even if just a little bit. One day, Marcus left a small stuffed rabbit on the table. It was soft and white with long floppy ears. He did not say anything about it. He just left it there and went to his office. A few hours later, he walked back through the kitchen. Lily was sitting at her usual table. The rabbit was in her arms. She was holding it tight against her chest, her cheek pressed against its soft fur. For the first time ever, there was almost a smile on her face. Marcus felt his eyes get wet. He turned away quickly so she would not see. That rabbit became Lily's constant friend. She brought it with her every time she came to the house. She held it while she sat in her corner. She held it while she ate her snacks. She held it while she waited for her mother to finish work. Marcus learned that simple things could mean everything to a child who had nothing. But he also knew that stuffed animals and snacks were not enough. Lily was still going home to a monster every night. Elena was still trapped in a nightmare. And Marcus was still standing on the outside, watching, unable to do anything real to help. He needed more information. He needed to understand exactly what was happening. He needed to know who this man was and what he was capable of. Marcus picked up his phone and called a number he had not used in years. It was the number for a private investigator, a man named Robert Chun, who had helped Marcus with business problems in the past. Robert was good at his job. He could find out anything about anyone. "Robert," Marcus said when the man answered, "I need your help. I need you to look into someone for me." "Who?" Robert asked. "A man named Victor Reyes. He's married to a woman named Elena Vasquez. I need to know everything about him. His past, his record, everything." There was a pause on the other end of the phone. "Can I ask why?" Marcus thought about Lily. He thought about her bruises. He thought about the fear in her eyes. "Someone is hurting a little girl," Marcus said, "and I am going to stop it." He hung up the phone and looked out the window. The sun was setting over his beautiful gardens. Everything looked peaceful. Everything looked perfect. But Marcus knew that somewhere out there, in a house he had never seen, a 7-year-old girl was living in fear. And her mother was too scared and too trapped to save her. Marcus clenched his fists. He had promised himself that night that he would help them. Now he was going to keep that promise. No matter what it took. No matter how long. No matter how dangerous. He was going to save Lily and Elena, or he was going to die trying. 2 weeks passed. Marcus waited for Robert Chun to finish his investigation. Every day felt like a year. Every time he saw Lily, he wanted to grab her and run away somewhere safe. But he knew he had to wait. He had to be smart about this. In the meantime, Marcus watched Elena more closely than ever. He started to notice things he had missed before. She always parked her car in the same hidden spot behind the garage. Every time she left the house, she checked her mirrors again and again. She looked around the parking lot like she was searching for someone. Like she was afraid someone was watching her. Elena also counted her money very carefully. Marcus had given her extra cash several times now. Every time, Elena would count it 3 or 4 times. Then she would hide it somewhere in her bag. She never put it in her wallet. She put it in a secret pocket, folded up small. Marcus understood. She was hiding money from her husband. She was saving up, little by little, hoping one day she would have enough to escape. But Marcus also knew that men like Victor Reyes always found the hidden money. They always found everything. And when they did, the punishment was terrible. One afternoon, Marcus decided to ask Elena a question. He was careful to keep his voice light and casual. He did not want to scare her. "Elena," he said, "you have worked for me for 3 years now. but I do not know much about your family. Do you have any other children? Any brothers or sisters?" Elena's hand stopped moving. She was cleaning a mirror, and her hand just froze in the air. For a second, Marcus thought she might cry. "No," she said quietly. "Just Lily. She is my only child." "And your husband? What does he do for work?" The question hung in the air like a dark cloud. Elena put down her cleaning cloth. Her face was pale. Her eyes were full of something that looked like fear and shame mixed together. "His name is Victor," she said. "He works at a warehouse. The night shift. Have you been married long?" 2 years. Elena's voice was barely a whisper now. "He's Lily's stepfather. Her real father left when she was a baby. I thought Victor would be good for us. I thought he would take care of us." She stopped talking. Her hands were shaking. Marcus could see that she wanted to say more, but she was too afraid. "Elena," Marcus said gently, "if you ever need help with anything, you can tell me. I hope you know that." Elena looked at him. For a moment, something flickered in her eyes. Hope, desperation, a cry for help that she could not put into words. Then the moment passed. She looked away and picked up her cleaning cloth again. "Thank you, Mr. Thornton," she said. "You are very kind. But everything is fine. Everything is okay." But everything was not okay. Marcus could see that clearly now. Elena was trapped. She was scared. She knew what was happening to her daughter, but she could not stop it. She was just as much a prisoner as Lily was. A few days later, Marcus got the call he had been waiting for. Robert Chun had finished his investigation. "I found some things," Robert said. "You are not going to like what I have to tell you." "Tell me anyway." Robert took a deep breath. "Victor Reyes is a bad guy. A really bad guy. He has a history of domestic violence. There have been 3 different women who filed charges against him over the years. 3 different women. But every single time, the charges were dropped. Why? The women refused to testify. They were too scared. Victor has connections. His cousin works for the local police department. Nothing official, just a patrol officer. But it is enough to make the women feel like they have nowhere to go. Like no one will believe them." Marcus felt his blood turn cold. "What else?" "About 5 years ago, one of Victor's ex-girlfriends tried to leave him. She went to a shelter for battered women. Victor found her in 2 days. 2 days, Marcus. The shelter was supposed to be a secret location. But he found her anyway. What happened to her?" There was a long pause. "She ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks. Broken bones. Internal bleeding. She almost died. After that, she moved to another state. Changed her name. Disappeared." Marcus closed his eyes. He felt sick. He felt angry. He felt a rage building inside him that he had not felt in years. "There is more," Robert continued. "I did some digging into Elena's situation. Before she married Victor, she tried to leave him once. They were engaged at the time. She took Lily and went to her sister's house in another city. What happened? Victor found her within 48 hours. He showed up at the sister's house in the middle of the night. There was a big fight. The sister called the police, but by the time they got there, Victor had already taken Elena and Lily back. The sister tried to file a report, but nothing came of it. Marcus felt tears running down his face. He did not try to stop them. How does he keep finding them? Marcus asked. He has a tracking app on Elena's phone. He checks her location 20 times a day. He also controls all their money. Elena does not have a bank account of her own. Everything goes through Victor. He gives her just enough cash to buy food and gas. Nothing more. So she cannot run. She cannot hide. She has no money and no way to disappear. Exactly, Robert said. She is completely trapped. And here's the worst part. I talked to one of my contacts who knows the family. Victor has told Elena that if she ever tries to leave again, he will kill Lily. He said he would make her watch. He said it would be her fault for trying to escape. Marcus could not speak. His throat was closed up. His hands were shaking with rage and grief. He thought about Lily. Sweet, quiet, broken Lily. She was only 7 years old. She should be playing with friends. She should be laughing and running and being a child. Instead, she was living in a house of horrors. She was being beaten by a monster who was supposed to protect her. And her mother could not save her because the monster had promised to kill her if she tried. It was the cruelest prison Marcus could imagine. A prison with no walls, but impossible to escape. Thank you, Robert, Marcus said finally. His voice was rough with emotion. Send me everything you found. Every detail. Every document. What are you going to do? Robert asked. Marcus thought about his own childhood. He thought about the foster homes where he had been beaten. He thought about the adults who had seen the bruises and done nothing. He thought about the teachers who had looked the other way. He thought about every single person who could have helped him but did not. He had survived. But so many children did not. I am going to save them, Marcus said. I do not know how yet, but I am going to find a way. He hung up the phone and sat in silence for a long time. Outside his window, the world went on as normal. Cars drove by. Birds sang in the trees. People walked their dogs and laughed and lived their lives. But Marcus was not thinking about any of that. He was thinking about a little girl with bruises on her arms and fear in her eyes. He was thinking about a mother who loved her daughter but could not protect her. He was thinking about all the broken promises that the world makes to children, and he was making a promise of his own. He would save them. He would find a way. Even if he had to tear down heaven and earth to do it, he would not let another child live in fear, not while he had breath in his body. Marcus sat in his study late at night, reading the report from Robert Chen. The papers were spread across his desk. Each page told a story of pain and fear and violence. Each page made Marcus angrier and sadder at the same time. Victor Reyes was worse than Marcus had imagined. He was not just an abuser. He was a controller. He watched everything Elena did. He tracked her phone. He checked the miles on her car. He counted the money in her wallet. He timed how long it took her to get home from work. If she was even 5 minutes late, there would be trouble. Victor had rules for everything. Elena was not allowed to have friends. She was not allowed to talk to her family. She was not allowed to leave the house without his permission. She was not allowed to have any money of her own. She was not allowed to make any decisions. She was not allowed to be a person. And Lily was just a tool that Victor used to control Elena. If Elena did something wrong, Victor would hurt Lily. If Elena talked back, Victor would hurt Lily. If Elena even looked at him the wrong way, Victor would hurt Lily. The little girl was not his daughter. She was his hostage. Marcus put down the papers. His hands were shaking. Tears ran down his face. He did not try to wipe them away. He remembered being a child himself. He remembered the fear. The constant, never-ending fear. He remembered not knowing when the next beating would come. He remembered lying awake at night, listening for footsteps in the hall. He remembered praying that tonight would be different. It never was. Marcus had survived. But it had taken him years to heal. Years to learn that not everyone in the world wanted to hurt him. Years to learn how to trust. Years to learn how to love. Some wounds never fully healed. Even now, at 45 years old, Marcus still had nightmares. He still flinched sometimes when people moved too fast. He still found it hard to let people get close to him. That was what abuse did to a person. It did not just hurt the body. It destroyed the soul. And now, A 7-year-old girl was going through the same thing. A 7-year-old girl was learning that the world was a dark and scary place. A 7-year-old girl was learning that the people who were supposed to love her would only hurt her. Marcus could not let it continue. He would not let it continue, but he had to be smart. Victor Reyes was dangerous. He had connections to the police. He had found women who tried to escape before. If Marcus made the wrong move, Victor might hurt Elena and Lily worse than ever. Or he might disappear with them, taking them somewhere no one would ever find them. Marcus needed a plan. A careful, detailed plan that would work the first time. There would be no second chances. He picked up the phone and made some calls. The first call was to his personal lawyer, a woman named Sandra Wells. Sandra was one of the best lawyers in the country. She had helped Marcus with his business for over 15 years. But more than that, she was a good person. She had worked on domestic violence cases before. She understood how dangerous men like Victor could be. "I need your help," Marcus told her. "I need to know everything about the legal options for getting a woman and child away from an abusive man." Sandra listened carefully as Marcus explained the situation. When he finished, she was quiet for a long moment. "This is complicated," she said finally. "The man has connections to local police. That means we cannot trust the local system. We need to go over their heads. Federal level, maybe. Or we need to get the woman and child completely out of the area. What about restraining orders? A piece of paper will not stop a man like this. Restraining orders work for some people. But for men who are truly dangerous, a restraining order just makes them angrier. We need physical distance. We need a complete disappearance." Marcus nodded, even though Sandra could not see him. What would that take? A safe house in another state. New identities if possible. A job lined up for the mother. School arranged for the child. And security. Real security. Someone watching over them until we are sure the man cannot find them. How much would all of that cost? Sandra laughed softly. "For you? Money is not the issue. The issue is timing. We need to get them out before the man knows anything is happening. If he gets even a small warning, he could do something terrible. Then we do not give him any warning." "There is another problem," Sandra said. "The mother has to want to leave. We cannot force her. If she is too scared to go, if she does not trust us, the whole plan falls apart." Marcus thought about Elena. He thought about the fear in her eyes. But he also thought about the love she had for Lily. A mother's love was the strongest thing in the world. If Elena believed there was a real way out, she would take it. He was sure of it. "She will want to leave," Marcus said. "I just have to show her that it is possible." The second call Marcus made was to a man named James Porter. James was a security expert who had helped abuse victims escape dangerous situations before. He understood how stalkers and abusers worked. He knew how to make people disappear. "I need to move a woman and child without anyone knowing," Marcus told him. "The man tracking them is smart. He has her phone tracked. He watches her every move. We need to get them out clean." "When?" James asked. "I do not know yet. But soon. I need everything ready to go at a moment's notice." "That is how I work best," James said. "Give me 2 weeks to set everything up. Safe house, transportation, new phones, everything. When you give the signal, we can move them within hours." "Thank you," Marcus said. "Do not thank me yet. The hard part is getting the woman to trust you enough to go. In my experience, that is always the biggest challenge. These women have been let down so many times. They do not believe anyone can really help them." Marcus understood, but he also knew something that James did not know. He knew what it felt like to be a scared child with no one to help. He knew what it felt like to dream of someone coming to save you. And he knew what it meant when that someone finally came. The third call Marcus made was to a non-profit organization that helped victims of domestic violence. He had given them money before, but he had never worked with them directly. Now he asked if they could provide a victim's advocate, someone who could talk to Elena, someone who could help her understand that she was not alone. "We have someone perfect," the director told him. Her name is Maria Santos. She was in an abusive relationship herself for 8 years. She understands what these women go through. She can talk to your housekeeper and help her see that there is a way out. "Thank you," Marcus said. "I will be in touch." He hung up the phone and looked out the window. The sun was rising. He had been awake all night, but he did not feel tired. He felt energized. He felt like he finally had a purpose. For years, Marcus had wondered what his money was really for. He had more than he could ever spend. He had houses and cars and investments. He had everything the world said he should want, but none of it had ever made him feel truly happy. Now he understood. His money was not for him. It was for moments like this. It was for saving a little girl with bruises on her arms. It was for giving a trapped mother a chance at freedom. It was for fighting the monsters that the world pretended did not exist. Marcus Thornton had been powerless as a child. He had been poor and alone and afraid. But he was not powerless anymore. And he was not alone. He had a team. He had a plan. And he had something else too. He had hope. For the first time in a long time, Marcus believed that things could change. He believed that good could win against evil. He believed that one person, with enough determination and enough resources, could make a real difference in the world. He was going to save Elena and Lily. He was going to give them the life they deserved, and nothing was going to stop him. Marcus knew he had to be patient. He had a team ready. He had a plan in place. But none of it would work if Elena did not trust him. And right now, Elena did not trust anyone. So Marcus decided to focus on something else first. He decided to focus on Lily. If he could get Lily to trust him, maybe Elena would follow. If he could show Elena that her daughter felt safe around him, maybe she would believe that he was someone who could help. It would take time. But Marcus had learned long ago that the best things in life always took time. He started small. Every time Lily came to the house, Marcus made sure there were special things waiting for her. Not big things, small things. A new coloring book, a pack of crayons, some stickers with butterflies and flowers, a small puzzle with only 20 pieces. He never gave these things to her directly. That would be too scary for a child like Lily. Instead, he left them on her table in the kitchen and walked away. He let her discover them on her own. At first, Lily did not touch any of the gifts. She just looked at them with wide, scared eyes. It was like she did not believe they were real. Or maybe she was afraid that if she touched them, something bad would happen. Marcus remembered that feeling. He remembered getting a Christmas present once when he was in foster care. It was a small toy car, nothing special. But when he had started to play with it, his foster father had taken it away. He had said that Marcus did not deserve nice things. He had said that bad children did not get presents. Marcus had learned not to accept gifts after that. He had learned that good things always came with a price. Lily had probably learned the same lesson, but Marcus was patient. Day after day, he left small gifts on her table. Day after day, she looked at them without touching them. And then, one afternoon, something changed. Marcus was walking past the kitchen when he saw Lily reach out and touch the coloring book. Just one finger tracing the picture on the cover. She looked around quickly, like she was checking to see if anyone was watching. Then she opened the book and looked at the first page. It was a picture of a rainbow. Lily stared at it for a long time. Then, very slowly, she picked up a crayon and started to color. Marcus felt tears in his eyes. He walked away quietly so she would not know he had been watching Dot from that day on. Lily started to open up. Just a little bit. Just enough Dot she colored in her books. She put together her puzzles. She played with the stickers, covering the table with butterflies and flowers. She still did not talk. She still did not smile. But there was something different in her eyes now. A small light that had not been there before. Marcus made sure to spend time near her without being too close. He would sit in the kitchen and read a book while she colored. He would drink his coffee and pretend not to watch her. He never pushed her to talk. He never asked her questions. He just let her know that he was there. One day, Lily did something that surprised him. She finished a picture in her coloring book and tore it out very carefully. Then she stood up, walked across the kitchen, and put the picture on the table next to Marcus. She did not say anything. She did not look at him. She just put the picture down and walked back to her seat. Marcus looked at the picture. It was a house with a sun and some trees. There was a little girl standing in front of the house. She was smiling. Marcus felt his heart break and heal at the same time. "Thank you, Lily," he said softly. "This is beautiful. I will keep it forever." Lily did not respond. But Marcus saw her shoulders relax just a little bit. Over the next few weeks, Lily gave Marcus more pictures. A butterfly, a cat, a flower. Each one was colored carefully with bright colors. Each one was a small gift from a child who had nothing to give. Marcus kept every single one. He put them in a special folder in his desk. They were the most precious things he owned. And then one day, Lily drew something different. Marcus found the picture on his table like always. But this time, it was not a rainbow or a flower. It was a small figure standing in a dark room. The figure was tiny and alone. There was a big shadow at the door of the room. The shadow had angry eyes and big hands. At the bottom of the picture, in shaky letters, Lily had written 2 words. "That me." Marcus stared at the picture. His hands were shaking. His heart was pounding in his chest. This was not just a drawing. This was a cry for help. This was Lily telling him the truth in the only way she knew how. Marcus looked up and saw Lily watching him. Her eyes were wide and scared. She was waiting to see what he would do. Would he ignore her like everyone else? Would he tell her she was lying? Would he get angry? Marcus stood up slowly. He walked over to Lily and knelt down so he was at her level. He was careful not to get too close. He did not want to scare her. "Lily," he said softly, "I see this picture. I understand what it means. And I want you to know something very important." Lily's eyes filled with tears. She did not say anything. "Monsters are real," Marcus said. "I know that. I had monsters in my life too when I was your age. They hurt me. They made me feel scared and alone. I thought no one would ever help me." A tear rolled down Lily's cheek. She wiped it away quickly. "But I also learned something else," Marcus continued. "I learned that monsters can be defeated. It takes time. It takes help from good people. But monsters can be stopped. And I promise you, Lily, I am going to stop the monster in your life." Lily stared at him. More tears fell down her face. Her little body was shaking, and then she did something she had never done before. She stepped forward and wrapped her small arms around Marcus's neck. She did not say anything. She just held on tight, like he was the only safe thing in her world. Marcus hugged her back gently. He felt her tears wet on his shoulder. He felt her little heart beating fast against his chest. "I promise," he whispered. "I promise I will help you. You are not alone anymore." They stayed like that for a long time. A billionaire and a broken little girl, holding on to each other in a big empty kitchen. Elena found them like that when she came back from cleaning the upstairs rooms. She stopped in the doorway, her eyes wide with surprise and fear. Lily? She said. What is going on? Lily pulled away from Marcus and ran to her mother. She buried her face in Elena's dress and started to cry harder. Elena looked at Marcus. There were 1,000 questions in her eyes. Questions and fear and something else too. Hope. A tiny spark of hope that she was afraid to feel. Mr. Thornton, she whispered. What happened? Marcus stood up. He looked at Elena with steady eyes. Your daughter showed me something, he said. She showed me the truth. And now I want to help you. Both of you. But you have to trust me. Elena's face went pale. Her arms tightened around Lily. I do not understand, she said. What are you talking about? Marcus took a deep breath. This was the moment. This was where everything could change. I know about Victor, he said. I know what he does to Lily. I know what he does to you. And I know that you feel trapped. But I want you to know that you are not alone. There is a way out, and I can help you find it. Elena's eyes filled with tears. Her whole body started to shake. You do not understand, she whispered. You cannot help. No one can help. He will find us. He always finds us. And if he finds us, he will kill her. He promised. Marcus stepped closer. Not too close. Just close enough to look into Elena's eyes. I am not just anyone, he said. I have resources you cannot imagine. I have people who know how to help women in your situation. I have already started making plans. A safe place. New identities. A new life far away from here. Elena stared at him. She wanted to believe. He could see it in her eyes. But years of fear had taught her not to hope. Why? She asked. Why would you do this for us? Marcus thought about his childhood. He thought about the foster homes. He thought about the bruises and the fear and the loneliness. Because someone should have helped me when I was a child, he said. No one did. And I promised myself that if I ever had the chance to help a child like me, I would take it. Lily deserves better. You deserve better. Let me help you. Elena closed her eyes. Tears streamed down her face. Lily held on to her mother tight. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then Elena opened her eyes and looked at Marcus. Okay, she whispered. I will trust you. Please help us. Marcus nodded. I will. I promise. And in that moment, everything changed. The plan was finally in motion. The next few days were the most important of Marcus's life. He had made a promise to Elena and Lily. Now he had to keep it. He called his team together for a meeting at his house. Sandra Wells, the lawyer, arrived first. Then James Porter, the security expert. Finally, Maria Santos from the domestic violence nonprofit. They all sat in Marcus's study with the doors closed and the curtains drawn. Marcus explained everything. He told them about Elena and Lily. He told them about Victor Reyes and his history of violence. He told them about the threats and the tracking and the control. He told them about the bruises on a little girl's arms. When he finished, the room was silent. Maria wiped tears from her eyes. Sandra looked angry. James just nodded slowly, like he had heard stories like this many times before. So what is the plan? Sandra asked. Marcus leaned forward. We need to get Elena and Lily out of that house without Victor knowing. We need to move them somewhere safe, somewhere he cannot find them. And we need to do it fast, before he suspects anything. James spoke up. I have been working on this for the past 2 weeks. I found a safe house in Colorado. It is a small town, very quiet, very private. The house is in a gated community with 24-hour security. No one gets in without permission. How far is that from here? Maria asked. About 2,000 miles. Far enough that Victor would have a hard time tracking them, even if he tried. Sandra nodded. What about legal protection? A restraining order? I have already drafted one, Sandra said. But we will not file it here. We will file it in Colorado after they arrive. That way, Victor will not know where they are. The restraining order will be enforced by local police there, not by Victor's cousin here. Marcus felt a small sense of relief. His team knew what they were doing. They had done this before. What about new identities? He asked. James pulled out a folder. I have contacts who can help with that. New names. New social security numbers. New documents. It takes about a week to set everything up. By the time Victor realizes they are gone, Elena and Lily will be completely different people on paper. Maria raised her hand. What about Elena? Is she ready for this? Leaving an abuser is not just about physical escape. It is about mental and emotional readiness too. If she is not ready, she might go back to him. Marcus had thought about this. I have talked to her. She is scared, but she wants out. She loves Lily more than anything. She knows that staying means watching her daughter get hurt again and again. She is ready. Maria nodded. Then I will work with her. I will help her understand what to expect. The fear, the guilt, the doubt. Leaving is hard. The first few weeks are the hardest. But I will be there to support her. What about Lily? Sandra asked. The child has been through serious trauma. She will need professional help. I have already arranged for a therapist in Colorado, Marcus said. Someone who specializes in childhood trauma. Lily will start seeing her as soon as they arrive. James looked at the papers in front of him. There is one more thing we need to discuss. The escape itself. How do we get them out without Victor knowing? Marcus had been thinking about this for days. Victor tracked Elena's phone. He timed her drives. He watched her every move. If anything seemed different, he would know something was wrong. Elena works here 3 days a week, Marcus said. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Victor knows her schedule. He knows exactly when she leaves and when she comes home. So we use that, James said. We do the extraction on a day she's supposed to be working here. She leaves her house at the normal time. She drives to your house like always. But instead of working, she gets into a different car and leaves. By the time Victor realizes something is wrong, she will be hundreds of miles away. What about her phone? Maria asked. He tracks her phone. She leaves the phone here, James said. We will keep it at the house, moving it around occasionally so it looks like she is still here. That will buy us time. How much time? Marcus asked. Victor works the night shift. He leaves for work at 10 at night and comes home at 7 in the morning. If Elena is supposed to be home by 6 in the evening, he will not know anything is wrong until he gets home the next morning. That gives us at least 12 hours head start. Maybe more. Sandra made some notes. What about the daughter? She goes to school. If she does not show up, someone might notice. Marcus had thought about this too. We will do it on a Friday. Elena will tell the school that Lily has a doctor's appointment and will miss the day. By the time Monday comes, they will be gone. The team spent the next 3 hours going over every detail. They planned for everything. What to pack. What to leave behind. What to say. What not to say. They created backup plans for the backup plans. By the time they finished, Marcus felt both exhausted and hopeful. They had a plan. A real plan. And it was going to work. When do we do this? James asked. Marcus thought about Lily. He thought about the bruises that kept appearing on her arms. He thought about the fear in her eyes. Every day that passed was another day she suffered. As soon as possible, Marcus said. Next Friday. 1 week from today. Everyone nodded. They understood the urgency. After the team left, Marcus sat alone in his study. The sun was setting outside his window. The sky was painted orange and pink and purple, He thought about all the things that could go wrong. Victor could find out. The plan could fail. Someone could get hurt. There were so many risks. But then he thought about Lily. He thought about her small arms wrapped around his neck. He thought about her whispered words and her tears and her drawings of monsters. He could not fail her. He would not fail her. The next day, Marcus met with Elena in private. He told her about the plan. He told her about the safe house in Colorado. He told her about the new identities and the therapist and the job that was waiting for her. Elena listened with wide eyes. Her hands were shaking. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "This is really happening," she whispered. "We are really going to escape." "Yes," Marcus said. "But you have to be careful. You cannot act different around Victor. You cannot let him suspect anything. For the next week, you have to be exactly the same as always." Elena nodded. "I understand. I have been pretending for years. One more week will not be hard. Pack a small bag," Marcus continued. "Just the essentials. Things that mean something to you. Photo albums. Important documents. Lily's favorite toys. But do not pack too much. You cannot let Victor see that anything is missing. What about everything else? Our furniture? Our clothes? Leave it all. None of it matters. What matters is getting you and Lily out alive." Elena closed her eyes. More tears fell. But when she opened her eyes again, Marcus saw something new in them. Determination, strength, hope. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for believing us. Thank you for helping us." Marcus reached out and took her hand. "You are not alone anymore, Elena. You and Lily are going to be safe. I promise you that." Elena squeezed his hand tight. "I believe you." That night, Marcus could not sleep. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything that had to happen in the next 7 days. 1 week. That was all they had. 1 week to plan. 1 week to prepare. 1 week to change 2 lives forever. It seemed like such a short time. But it also seemed like forever. Every day that passed was another day. Lily lived in fear. Another day, Elena walked on eggshells. Another day, Victor controlled their lives. Marcus made himself a promise. In 1 week, that would all be over. In 1 week, Elena and Lily would be free. No matter what it took, no matter what he had to do, he would save them. The week moved slowly. Every day felt like a month. Marcus watched the clock and counted the hours until Friday. He tried to focus on his work, but his mind kept going back to Elena and Lily. Were they okay? Was Victor suspicious? Was everything still on track? Elena came to work on Monday and Wednesday like normal. She cleaned the house. She did her job. She acted like nothing was different. But Marcus could see the change in her eyes. There was hope there now. A small flame that had not been there before. Lily came with her mother both days. She was quiet as always. But she stayed close to Marcus now. She colored her pictures at the kitchen table while he drank his coffee nearby. Sometimes she would look up at him and almost smile. Almost thought Marcus treasured those moments. He knew that soon, Lily and Elena would be gone. They would be safe, but he would probably never see them again. It was the right thing. It was the only thing. But it still made his heart ache. On Wednesday night, Marcus got a call from James Porter. "Everything is ready," James said. "The safe house is set up. The car is arranged. The new documents are almost finished. We are good to go for Friday." "Thank you, James," Marcus said. "I could not have done this without you. Do not thank me yet. The hard part is still ahead. These things can go wrong in 100 different ways. We will not be able to relax until Elena and Lily are safe in Colorado." Marcus knew James was right, but he tried to stay positive. The plan was solid. The team was experienced. Everything was going to work out. He was wrong. On Thursday morning, Marcus got a call from Elena. Her voice was shaking so badly he could barely understand her. "Mr. Thornton," she said, "something terrible has happened." Marcus felt his heart stop. "What is it? Are you okay? Is Lily okay?" "He found the money," Elena whispered. "Victor found the money I was hiding. The extra cash you gave me. I hid it in a box in the closet, but he found it. He went crazy. He started screaming. He wanted to know where I got it. He thought I was stealing. He thought I was cheating on him." Marcus gripped the phone tight. "Elena, where are you right now?" "I am at home." Victor went to work. But before he left, a voice broke. She started to cry. "Elena, what did he do?" "He hit me. In front of Lily. He hit me so hard I fell down. And then he told Lily that it was her fault. He said if I ever tried to leave, it would be Lily's fault when he killed me. He made her watch, Mr. Thornton. He made my baby watch." Marcus felt rage building inside him. A terrible, burning rage that he had not felt since he was a child. He wanted to find Victor Reyes and make him pay for every single thing he had done. He wanted to hurt him the way he had hurt Elena and Lily. But Marcus knew that revenge would not help anyone. What mattered now was getting Elena and Lily out. And they could not wait until Friday anymore. "Elena, listen to me," Marcus said. His voice was calm and steady, even though his heart was pounding. "Can you come to my house today? Can you bring Lily?" "I do not know. Victor took my car keys. He said he did not trust me to go anywhere. He said I had to stay home until he got back from work." Marcus thought fast. "Do you have a neighbor, a friend, someone who could give you a ride?" There was a long pause. "There is a woman next door, Mrs. Chun. She is nice to me sometimes. Maybe she would help. Ask her. Tell her you have a doctor's appointment for Lily. Tell her anything. Just get to my house as soon as you can. But Victor checks the tracking on my phone. He will see where I am. Leave the phone at home. Hide it somewhere. He will think you are still there." Elena was quiet for a moment. Marcus could hear her breathing fast. She was scared. She was so scared. "Elena," Marcus said gently, "I know you are afraid. But this is it. This is our chance. If you stay there, Victor will hurt you again. He might hurt Lily worse. You have to get out now." But the plan was for Friday. The safe house. The car. Everything. Plans change. "I will make some calls. I will get everything ready. Just get here, Elena. Get Lily and come to my house. I will take care of the rest." There was another long pause. Then Elena took a deep breath. "Okay," she said. "I will do it. I will come. Good. I will be waiting for you." Marcus hung up and immediately called James Porter. "We have a problem," Marcus said. "The timeline just moved up. We need to get them out today." "Today?" James sounded surprised. "That is not much time." "I know. But Victor found the money Elena was hiding. He beat her this morning. If we wait until Friday, he might do something worse. We have to move now." James was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Give me 2 hours. I will make it happen." "Thank you, James. Just make sure they get to your house. I will handle everything else." Marcus spent the next 2 hours making calls. He talked to Sandra about the restraining order. He talked to Maria about being ready to support Elena. He talked to the people in Colorado to make sure the safe house was ready. Everyone moved fast. Everyone understood the urgency. At 11 in the morning, Marcus heard a car pull up to his house. He ran to the front door and opened it. Elena was standing on the doorstep. She had a black eye. Her lip was swollen. There were bruises on her arms that she had not even tried to hide. Lily stood beside her, clutching her stuffed rabbit. Her face was pale. Her eyes were red from crying. She looked like a ghost. Marcus felt his heart break into 1,000 pieces. "Come in," he said. "You are safe now." Elena started to cry. Great, heaving sobs that shook her whole body. She fell into Marcus's arms and held on like he was the only thing keeping her from drowning. "I did it," she whispered. "I really did it. I left." "Yes, you did," Marcus said. "And you are never going back." He brought them inside and closed the door. He made sure all the locks were in place. He checked the windows. He did everything he could to make them feel safe. Maria Santos arrived an hour later. She sat with Elena and talked to her softly. She held her hand. She told her about her own experience leaving an abusive husband. She told her that the fear was normal, that the guilt was normal, that everything she was feeling was okay. Elena listened and cried. She cried for years of pain and fear. She cried for everything she had lost. But she also cried with relief. For the first time in a long time, she was not alone. Lily sat in the corner with her rabbit. Marcus sat next to her, not too close, but close enough that she knew he was there. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. Lily did not answer. She just held her rabbit tighter. "You are safe now," Marcus said. "The monster cannot hurt you anymore. I promised I would stop him, remember? I keep my promises." Lily looked up at him. Her eyes were full of tears. But there was something else there too. Trust. She trusted him. "Thank you," she whispered. It was so quiet Marcus almost did not hear it. He smiled at her. "You are welcome, Lily. You are going to be okay. I promise." At 3 in the afternoon, James Porter arrived with a black SUV. The windows were tinted so dark that no one could see inside. "It is time," he said. "We need to go now." Marcus helped Elena and Lily gather their things. They did not have much. Just a small bag that Elena had managed to pack. Some clothes. Some photos. Lily's rabbit. That was all. It did not matter. They had each other. That was enough. Marcus walked them to the SUV. He opened the door and helped Lily climb inside. Elena stopped and turned to face him. Her black eye was dark against her pale skin, but her eyes were clear and bright. "I do not know how to thank you," she said. "You saved our lives." Marcus shook his head. "You saved your own lives. You were brave enough to leave. That is the hardest part." Elena hugged him tight. "I will never forget you, Mr. Thornton. Never. Take care of yourself, Elena. Take care of Lily. Build a beautiful life." "I will. I promise." She got into the SUV. James closed the door. Through the tinted window, Marcus could see Lily waving at him. He waved back. Then the SUV drove away. Marcus watched until it disappeared around the corner. They were gone. They were safe. And Marcus Thornton stood alone in his driveway, tears streaming down his face, feeling something he had not felt in a very long time. Peace. The black SUV drove through the afternoon traffic. Elena sat in the back seat with Lily pressed close against her side. The little girl had not let go of her mother since they got in the car. Her stuffed rabbit was squeezed tight in her arms. James Porter drove carefully. He checked his mirrors every few minutes. He took strange routes, turning down side streets and doubling back sometimes. Elena did not understand why, but she did not ask. She trusted that he knew what he was doing. "Where are we going?" Lily asked in a small voice. It was the first time she had spoken since they left Marcus's house. Elena stroked her daughter's hair. "We are going somewhere safe, baby. Somewhere far away. A new home. Will the bad man find us?" Elena felt her heart clench. She wanted to promise her daughter that Victor would never find them. She wanted to say that they were safe forever. But she had learned long ago not to make promises she could not keep. "Mr. Thornton and his friends are going to make sure we are safe," she said instead. "They are very good at this. They will protect us." James looked at them in the rearview mirror. "Your mother is right, Lily. I have helped many families like yours. The bad man will not find you. I promise." Lily nodded slowly. She did not look completely convinced, but some of the tension left her small body. They drove for hours. The city gave way to suburbs. The suburbs gave way to countryside. Green fields stretched out on either side of the road. Cows grazed in pastures. Farmhouses dotted the landscape. It was so different from the cramped apartment where Elena and Lily had lived with Victor. That apartment had felt like a prison. Every room had bad memories. Every corner held fear. But out here, everything was open and free. Elena felt tears rolling down her face. She wiped them away quickly so Lily would not see at 6 in the evening. They stopped at a small airport outside of town. It was not a big commercial airport. It was a private airfield with just a few small planes. Elena looked at James in surprise. "We are flying?" "Mr. Thornton arranged it," James said. "A private plane will take you to Colorado. It is faster and safer than driving. No records. No passenger lists. No way for anyone to track you." Elena could not believe it. A private plane. She had never even been on a regular plane before. And now she was going to fly across the country in a private jet. She thought about Marcus Thornton. She thought about everything he had done for them. He had spent so much money. He had used so many resources. He had put together an entire team just to save her and Lily. Why? She still did not fully understand. He barely knew them. She was just his housekeeper. Lily was just a quiet little girl who sat in his kitchen. But Marcus had seen them. Really seen them. He had noticed the bruises. He had noticed the fear. And instead of looking away like everyone else, he had decided to help. Elena promised herself that she would never forget his kindness. And someday, somehow, she would pay it forward. She would help someone else the way Marcus had helped her. The private plane was small but comfortable. There were soft leather seats and plenty of room to stretch out. A flight attendant brought them food and drinks. Lily ate a sandwich and drank some juice. It was the first time Elena had seen her daughter eat a full meal in months. "Mommy, look," Lily said, pointing out the window. "We are above the clouds." Elena looked. The sun was setting, painting the clouds orange and pink. It was beautiful, like a painting in a museum. "It is pretty, is it not?" Elena said. "It is like heaven," Lily whispered. Elena hugged her daughter close. Maybe it was heaven. Maybe they had died in that apartment and this was their reward. A new life. A fresh start. A chance to be happy. She knew that was silly. They were not dead. They were very much alive. But for the first time in years, Elena felt like she could breathe. She felt like the weight that had been crushing her chest was finally lifting. The plane landed in Colorado late that night. Another SUV was waiting for them on the runway. A woman stood beside it, smiling warmly. "You must be Elena and Lily," the woman said. "I am Dr. Sarah Mitchell. I will be taking care of you from now on." Dr. Mitchell was a therapist who specialized in helping abuse survivors. Marcus had hired her to work with Elena and Lily full-time for the first few months. She would help them process their trauma. She would help them learn to feel safe again. They drove to the safe house. It was in a small town surrounded by mountains. The streets were quiet. The houses had big yards. Children played outside, laughing and riding bicycles. The safe house itself was small but cozy. It had 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a living room with big windows that looked out at the mountains. There were flowers in vases on the tables. There were books on the shelves. There were soft blankets on the couch. It looked like a home. A real home. "This is yours," Dr. Mitchell said, "for as long as you need it." Elena walked through the room slowly. She touched the walls. She looked at the views. She sat on the bed and felt how soft the mattress was. Lily ran to the window in her bedroom. "Mommy, I can see the mountains. They have snow on top." Elena laughed. Actually laughed. She could not remember the last time she had laughed. "Yes, baby. Those are real mountains. We are going to live here now. Forever?" Elena walked over and hugged her daughter. "Forever. This is our new home." That night, Elena put Lily to bed in her new room. She tucked the blankets around her. She put the stuffed rabbit beside her on the pillow. "Are you okay?" Elena asked. Lily nodded. "I like it here. It is quiet. I cannot hear any yelling." Elena felt tears sting her eyes. Of course, Lily would notice that. At their old apartment, there was always yelling. Victor yelling at Elena. Victor yelling at Lily. Victor yelling at the walls. "No more yelling," Elena promised. "Never again. And no more hitting? No more hitting?" "I promise." Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I miss Mr. Thornton." Elena smiled sadly. "I miss him too. But he did a very good thing for us. He saved our lives. We should always remember that. Will we ever see him again?" "I do not know, baby. But we will always be grateful to him. Always." Lily closed her eyes. Within minutes, she was asleep. Her breathing was slow and steady. Her face was peaceful. Elena stood there for a long time, watching her daughter sleep. In all the years of living with Victor, she had never seen Lily look so peaceful. There was always tension in her little body, even when she slept. She was always ready to wake up and run, always ready for the next bad thing to happen. But now, for the first time, Lily looked like a normal child, safe, secure, at peace. Elena walked to the living room and sat on the couch. She looked out the window at the dark mountains under the starry sky. She thought about everything that had happened. The years of abuse, the fear, the pain, and then Marcus Thornton appearing like an angel out of nowhere, offering her a way out. She had been so scared to trust him. She had been scared so many times before. She had learned that trust was dangerous, that hope was dangerous, that believing in good people was the fastest way to get hurt. But Marcus had been different. He had kept his promises. He had done everything he said he would do. And now, because of him, she and Lily were free. Elena looked down at her hands. They were not shaking anymore. For the first time in years, her hands were steady. She was safe. Lily was safe. They had a new home, a new life, a new beginning. Tomorrow, she would start building that new life. She would work with Dr. Mitchell. She would heal from her trauma. She would become the mother Lily deserved. But tonight, she would just sit here. She would look at the mountains. She would breathe in the clean air. She would feel the peace that she had waited so long to find. And she would say a prayer of thanks for Marcus Thornton, the man who had seen two broken souls and decided to fix them. The billionaire with a heart of gold. The hero who had saved their lives. 6 months passed. 6 months of healing. 6 months of growing. 6 months of learning to live without fear. Elena and Lily had become different people. Not on the outside. On the outside, they looked much the same. But on the inside, everything had changed. Elena had a new job now. She worked as an office administrator at a small company in town. The work was not hard, but it was steady. She earned enough money to pay her bills and save a little each month. For the first time in her life, she had her own bank account, her own money, her own independence. She no longer flinched when the phone rang. She no longer checked the mirrors when she drove. She no longer counted the minutes until she had to be home. There was no one timing her anymore. No one controlling her. No one waiting to hurt her if she made a mistake. Elena had also started making friends. Real friends. The women at her office invited her to lunch sometimes. Her neighbor came over for coffee on weekends. She joined a book club at the local library. She was part of a community now. She belonged somewhere. It felt strange at first. Elena had not had friends in years. Victor had not allowed it. He had kept her isolated from everyone. He had made her believe that no one wanted to be her friend, that she was not worth loving, but that was a lie. Elena was worth loving. She had just needed to escape Victor to see it. Lily had changed even more than her mother. The silent, scared little girl who sat in Marcus's kitchen was gone. In her place was a happy, lively child who laughed and played and talked all the time. Lily was in second grade, now at the local elementary school. She had friends. Real friends who came to play at her house. They ran around the yard and climbed trees and played pretend games about princesses and dragons. Lily's laughter filled the house every day. She still had her stuffed rabbit. She still slept with it every night. But she did not hold it so tight anymore. She did not need it to feel safe. She felt safe all by herself. Now, Dr. Mitchell had worked with both of them twice a week for the first few months. She had helped them understand their trauma. She had helped them process their pain. She had taught them techniques to cope with fear and anxiety. The therapy had not been easy. There were hard days. Days when Elena cried for hours. Days when Lily had nightmares and woke up screaming. Days when the past felt too heavy to carry. But slowly the hard days became less frequent. The good days started to outnumber the bad days. And eventually, the good days became the normal days. Dr. Mitchell said they were making excellent progress. She said they were some of the bravest people she had ever worked with. Elena did not feel brave. She just felt grateful. Grateful to be alive. Grateful to be free. Grateful to have her daughter safe and happy. One afternoon, there was a knock at the door. Elena opened it and froze. Marcus Thornton was standing on her doorstep. He looked the same as she remembered. Tall and kind, with gentle eyes and a warm smile. He wore simple clothes. Jeans and a sweater. No fancy suit. No expensive watch. Just Marcus. "Hello, Elena," he said. "I hope it is okay that I came." Elena could not speak. Tears filled her eyes. She threw her arms around him and hugged him tight. "Of course it is okay," she whispered. "Of course it is." Marcus hugged her back. Then he stepped inside and looked around the little house. He saw the flowers on the tables, the books on the shelves, the photos of Elena and Lily on the walls. "You have made a beautiful home," he said. "Because of you," Elena said. "All of this is because of you." Marcus shook his head. "No, all of this is because of you. I just gave you the chance. You did the hard work. You built this life for yourself and Lily." Before Elena could respond, there was a sound of running feet. Lily came racing down the stairs and stopped dead when she saw Marcus. "Mr. Thornton!" she screamed. She ran at him full speed and threw herself into his arms. Marcus caught her and lifted her up. He spun her around once, and Lily laughed with pure joy. "Look at you," Marcus said. "You have grown so much, and you are so happy. I can see it in your eyes." Lily beamed at him. "I am happy. I go to school now. I have friends. And I do not have bad dreams anymore. Well, only sometimes. But Mommy says that is normal." "Your mommy is right," Marcus said. "Sometimes the bad dreams come. but they get fewer and fewer. And one day, they will stop completely. He put Lily down and she grabbed his hand. Come see my room. I have posters and books and a desk where I do my homework. And I still have the rabbit you gave me. His name is Mr. Fluffy. Marcus let Lily drag him upstairs. Elena followed, watching as her daughter showed Marcus every inch of her room. Lily talked so fast she could barely breathe. She showed him her drawings, her report cards, her collection of rocks from the mountains. Marcus looked at everything with genuine interest. He asked questions. He praised her artwork. He told her she was doing an amazing job at school. Elena watched them and felt her heart overflow with love. This man had given them everything. Not just money or resources, but hope. A second chance at life. A future. After the tour, they all sat in the living room. Lily sat between Marcus and Elena on the couch, holding both their hands. Why did you come? Elena asked. Not that I am not happy to see you, but it is a long way to travel. Marcus smiled. I wanted to see for myself that you were okay. I wanted to see that the life we planned for you was real, that you were truly happy. We are, Elena said. We really are. For the first time in our lives, we are happy. Marcus nodded. I can see that. It is written all over both of your faces. He reached into his pocket and pulled out an envelope. He handed it to Elena. What is this? She asked. Open it. Elena opened the envelope. Inside was a document. She read it slowly, and her eyes went wide. The house, she whispered. You bought the house. This house. In my name, Marcus nodded. It is yours now. Completely yours. No mortgage. No mortgage. It belongs to you and Lily forever. Elena started to cry. She could not help it. The tears just came. I cannot accept this, she said. It is too much. You have already done so much. You can accept it, Marcus said firmly. And you will. I did not save you from one prison just to leave you worrying about making rent. You deserve security, Elena. You deserve to know that you will always have a home. Lily looked up at Marcus. Does this mean we never have to leave? Never, Marcus said. This is your home for as long as you want it. Lily hugged him tight. Thank you, Mr. Thornton. Thank you for being so nice to us. Marcus hugged her back. His eyes were wet with tears, too. Thank you, Lily, he said. Thank you for teaching me that kindness is never wasted. That helping one person can change the whole world. They spent the rest of the afternoon together. They ate dinner. They played games. They talked and laughed and shared stories. When it was time for Marcus to leave, Lily cried and begged him to stay. But Marcus explained that he had to go back home. He had work to do. Important work. But I will come visit again, he promised. And you can write me letters. And maybe, someday, you and your mommy can come visit me. Lily sniffled and nodded. Okay, but you have to promise to write back. I promise, Marcus said. He hugged Lily one more time. Then he hugged Elena. Thank you, Elena whispered. For everything. I do not have words to express what you have done for us. You do not need words, Marcus said. Your happiness is enough. Seeing Lily laugh is enough. Knowing you are safe is enough. He walked to his car and got in. Elena and Lily stood in the doorway, waving as the car drove away. Lily looked up at her mother. Mommy, is Mr. Thornton an angel? Elena smiled through her tears. Maybe, baby. Maybe he is. They watched until the car disappeared around the corner. Then they went back inside their home. Their beautiful, safe, forever home. And they started a new day in their new life. 2 years had passed since that first day when Marcus noticed a quiet girl hiding bruises in his kitchen. 2 years since he made a promise to himself that he would help her. 2 years of change, growth, and healing for everyone involved. Elena was thriving. She had been promoted at her job twice. She was now an office manager, supervising a small team of people. Her coworkers respected her. Her boss trusted her. She had become someone important. She had also started taking college classes at night. She was studying business administration. She wanted to open her own cleaning company someday. A company that would hire women who were escaping abuse. Women who needed a second chance, just like she had needed one. Elena was even dating again. His name was Michael. He was a teacher at Lily's school. He was kind and gentle and patient. He never raised his voice. He never made Elena feel scared or small. He treated her like she was precious. Lily liked Michael. She called him Mr. Mike and giggled every time he came to the house. It felt right. It felt like they were building a real family. A healthy family. The kind of family Elena had always dreamed of. Lily was 9 years old now. She was in 4th grade and getting straight A's. She loved to read. She loved to draw. She had joined the school choir and had the lead solo in the winter concert. The nightmares were almost completely gone. Once in a while, Lily would wake up crying in the middle of the night. But those nights were rare now. Most nights, she slept peacefully, dreaming happy dreams about mountains and friends and adventures. She still had her stuffed rabbit, Mr. Fluffy, but he lived on a shelf in her room now. A reminder of the past rather than a comfort for the present. Lily did not need him to feel safe anymore. She felt safe all on her own. And Victor Reyes? He was in prison. It had happened about a year after Elena and Lily escaped. Victor had gotten into a fight at a bar. The fight had turned violent. Victor had put a man in the hospital with broken bones and internal bleeding. This time, there was no escaping justice. There were too many witnesses. Too much evidence. Victor was arrested, charged with aggravated assault, and sentenced to 8 years in prison. When Elena heard the news, she did not feel happy. She did not feel like celebrating. She just felt relieved. The monster who had haunted her dreams was finally locked away. He could not hurt her anymore. He could not hurt Lily. He could not hurt anyone. She filed for divorce from prison. Victor did not contest it. Maybe he had finally given up trying to control her. Maybe he just did not care anymore. Either way, the divorce was finalized in 3 months. Elena was free. Officially, legally, completely free. She kept the restraining order active anyway. Just in case. She would keep it active until Victor was dead or she was. She was never going to take chances with her daughter's safety again. Marcus Thornton had been busy too. After helping Elena and Lily, something changed inside him. He realized that his money and power could do so much more than make him comfortable. They could save lives. They could change the world. One family at a time, he started a foundation. He called it the Thornton Foundation for Domestic Violence Prevention. He donated $50 million to get it started. Then he raised another $100 million from other wealthy donors who believed in the cause. The foundation did many things. It built safe houses all across the country. It provided legal aid to women who needed restraining orders and divorces. It funded therapy programs for children who had witnessed abuse. It trained police officers to recognize the signs of domestic violence. It educated communities about the hidden epidemic happening behind closed doors. In 2 years, the foundation had helped over 5,000 families escape abuse. 5,000 mothers. 5,000 children. 5,000 new beginnings. Marcus was prouder of this work than anything else he had ever done. Building his business had made him rich, but building the foundation had made him whole. For the first time in his life, he felt like he had a real purpose. The foundation held a big ceremony to celebrate its second anniversary. Important people came from all over the country. Politicians, business, leaders, celebrities. They all wanted to support the cause. Marcus stood at the podium and looked out at the crowd. There were hundreds of people in the room, but his eyes found only two faces in the front row. Elena and Lily had come. They had flown all the way from Colorado to be there. Elena wore a beautiful blue dress. Lily wore a pink dress with flowers on it. They both looked happy and healthy and whole. Marcus smiled at them. They smiled back. "Thank you all for coming," Marcus said into the microphone. "Today, we celebrate 2 years of the Thornton Foundation. 2 years of saving lives. 2 years of giving hope to people who had none." The crowd applauded. "But I did not start this foundation because I am a good person," Marcus continued. "I started it because of a little girl. A 7-year-old girl who sat in my kitchen with bruises on her arms and fear in her eyes. A girl who taught me that kindness is never wasted. That one person paying attention at the right moment can change everything." He looked at Lily. She was watching him with shining eyes. "That little girl is here tonight. Her name is Lily, and she wrote something that I would like to share with you." Marcus gestured to Lily. She stood up slowly, suddenly shy with all those people watching her. But Elena squeezed her hand and nodded encouragingly. Lily walked up to the stage. Marcus helped her stand on a small step so she could reach the microphone. She pulled a piece of paper from her pocket and unfolded it. "I wrote a poem," she said softly. "It is about hope." The room was completely silent. Everyone was watching this small girl with the pink dress and the big eyes. Lily took a deep breath and began to read. "I used to live in darkness. I used to live in fear. I thought no one could see me. I thought no help was near. But then someone noticed. He saw that I was sad. He saw the things I was hiding. He saw that things were bad. He did not look away. He did not walk on by. He stopped and asked a question. He asked the simple why. And then he made a promise. He said that he would help. He did not know my problems. He just knew I needed help. Some people think that heroes are those who wear a cape. But real heroes are different. Real heroes help escape. Real heroes are the ones who see a child in pain, who stop what they are doing, who help him live again. Mr. Thornton is my hero. He saved my mom and me. He gave us a new future. He helped us to be free. So if you see someone hurting, do not look away. Be brave and be a hero. You could save a life today." Lily finished reading and looked up. The room was completely silent. Then someone started clapping. Then another person. Then another. Soon, the whole room was on its feet, applauding and cheering and crying. Marcus had tears streaming down his face. He knelt down and hugged Lily tight. "That was beautiful," he whispered. "Thank you, Lily. Thank you for teaching me how to be a hero." Lily hugged him back. "Thank you for saving us, Mr. Thornton." Elena came up to the stage and joined them. The three of them stood together, hugging and crying while the crowd continued to cheer. In that moment, Marcus Thornton understood something important. He had spent his whole life building a fortune. He had thought that money was the measure of success. He had thought that being rich meant being happy, but he had been wrong. True success was not about how much money you had. It was about how many lives you touched. It was about how many people you helped. It was about leaving the world a little bit better than you found it. Marcus looked at Lily and Elena. He looked at all the people who had come to support the foundation. He thought about the 5,000 families who had been saved. He thought about all the families who would be saved in the years to come. This was his legacy. Not the buildings he had built or the businesses he had created, but the lives he had changed, the hope he had given, the love he had shared. And it all started because he paid attention, because he noticed a little girl hiding bruises in his kitchen. because he decided to do something about it. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change the whole world. Sometimes, one person paying attention is all it takes. And sometimes, a billionaire with a broken heart finds healing by fixing someone else's. That is the true story of Marcus Thornton, Elena Vasquez, and a little girl named Lily. A story of pain and hope, of fear and courage, of darkness and light. A story that proves that heroes do exist. You just have to open your eyes and look for them. Or better yet, become one yourself. The end.